can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York.
How we doing, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live and YouTube. I am your host, Richie, here with my guy, Mr. Idris Salam, a.k.a. Bosco, from the
Yo,
Bronx.
yo, what up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's Saturday. It's fight day. Let's go.
Yeah, Netflix is going to try to have a redo after that Paul Tyson disaster.
Yes, they owe us that.
Yeah,
They
Amanda
owe us that.
Serrano, in a losing defeat, was able to salvage the night.
Yeah, yeah, that was a good thing. Yeah, but Netflix, yeah, that was a farce. This right here is legitimate, so I think we should get what we wanted.
Yes,
Hopefully.
yes. And it's built the right way, More than likely, the two best fighters of their generation finally, their
Hmm.
careers are crossing paths. I have been very vocal about how I've wanted to see the Mexican legend Canelo Alvarez take on David Benavidez, but I think this fight probably has to happen in order for that next one to occur.
Yeah, I think I think he's still scared of Jesse, man. This is like actually. I mean, in my opinion, I think he has to beat Crawford for that fight to even happen. Because I think if Crawford wins, the Mexican monster don't even want to fight. He'll be like, "It's no use fighting this guy." Crawford beat him. But then again, he might still say, "Look, I want to fight him anyway." Because I know Crawford, if he wins, then I might be jumping ahead. But I'm pretty sure Crawford, if should he win, I think he retires because there's nothing left for him to do. He undisputed junior lightweight, junior welterweight, undisputed welterweight, junior middleweight champion, and undisputed super middleweight. It's nothing left, man.
No, Idris, I tend to agree. You look at the career of Canelo. His one
Hmm.
legitimate loss on the way up was Floyd Mayweather Jr.,
Yeah,
giving him an opportunity for a grander stage. Canelo fought valiantly. He was younger.
yeah,
He's not the fighter he is now. He lost
right, right.
a couple
It
of
was a
years
good,
ago.
it was a closer fight than people say. It was a good fight.
Yeah, there's a couple of fights when you go back to the Mayweather era that I think
Yeah,
could be in question. Personally, I think Oscar De La Hoya could have
yeah,
very well edged him out.
I think so
Uh,
too.
Zab Judah early on, before disqualifying himself, was definitely matching up well
Yeah,
with Mayweather's style. As Canelo goes, the Bivol fight, I don't really look at that as a loss because of the
mm,
fact that he was really venturing out into a weight class that he normally would not go to.
yeah.
The Triple G
I,
series, I think you could find a loss in there. Although,
I, th- I call two losses, man.
yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
folks felt that Canelo got more than the benefit. It's kind of like
yeah,
taking it into the heavyweight realm for a second.
yeah.
When Andrew Galata fought Riddick Bowe two different times, both times up on the
Oh yeah,
scorecards, both times dominating,
yeah.
the Brooklyn product, and unfortunately, both times getting himself disqualified. So it kind of did a lot to Bo's psyche and to his image because prior to that,
Hmm.
the only fight that Riddick Bowe had ever lost was one of the three to Evander Holyfield.
Yeah,
And that
I
really
agree.
just did a number on his credibility as a champion. And long after, he wasn't out of the sport altogether.
Yeah, I agree. And hey, for a guy that doesn't know much boxing, you sure pull that one out the bag. That was a good one right there.
Yeah, I mean, coming up, that was always a big thing, whether in
Yeah,
my stepdad's house or in my father's house.
yeah, yeah. You pulled a good one out the bag. Yeah, I gotta give you some stars on that one. But yeah, I agree. I think we're early. Canelo fighting Floyd. He was young, and it's not to take anything away from Floyd. I don't want anyone to think of taking anything away from Floyd. But he's a young guy, and Floyd won the fight, but I think it was a lot closer than people think. I think with Bivol, I agree. I think he stepped up against a guy who basically had his division, locked up. And Bivol did what he's supposed to do, you know. So I'm not gonna look at it like, well, he went in there and fought. He fought a guy and lost because he has some fighters on his record that he can brag about. Berlanga, Plant, the 3 fights with Triple G. I mean, so it's not like he didn't fight anyone. So
No, the resume is definitely solid. I know
yeah,
I speak for my brother, who's a big fight fan, that
hmm,
that is the one fight that he's been anticipating and hoping for, Canelo and Benavidez. But to your
yeah,
point, if
yeah,
Crawford does indeed win this match, that's going to change all of that. And you might actually see Crawford find a way to fight Benavidez down the road. But, you know, Crawford is kind of like the overlooked man here, and it shouldn't be.
yeah,
He's undefeated,
yeah.
humble
41
beginnings
nine.
coming from Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a guy that a lot of fight fans can really get behind because of his very honest and humble nature.
Yeah. I won't lie. When he first came around to me, he had already became lightweight champ. I've heard his name, but I didn't know him. I was like, who's this kid out of
Yeah,
Nebraska?
because you have so many different divisions and so many different belts more than ever.
Right.
I mean,
And I
Mickey
started
Dalvin's
watching.
kid might be running around with a belt still.
He might be. You know what I mean? WXY belt or something like that. But but when I started watching, I said, this guy is pretty. He was pretty a technical fighter. Because see, when I boxed, I was a technical fighter, but I try to be more like Muhammad Ali because I like moving around. But I was like, okay, this guy, and I just started following. I said, this guy is very technical. Then I saw he could fight left-handed and right. I said, he's gonna be tough. And then when he started winning more titles, I said, okay. I wasn't on him, but I was following him. And then I was like, and he's so humble about everything. Being from Nebraska, that's what really got me because I was like, he went in there, did his business, he was respectful, da da da. And a lot of people knock him. They say, well, he hasn't fought anybody. He don't come 2-time undisputed champion and not fighting anybody.
Now, the
You know what I
reality
mean?
of the situation is, unfortunately, with a lot of lesser known boxers who should be known more, it's a lot
Mhm.
of it has to do with the promotional engine. And that's
Exactly.
something that Canelo Alvarez has always had a light on him because of how young he
Yeah.
became a professional fighter. I mean, you're talking
Right.
still in his teens,
Yeah.
champion at 20, doing something that few do. I mean, Mike Tyson did it as a heavyweight with his second round knockout of Trevor Berbick.
Yeah.
But you
But you
don't
don't see it a
see
lot.
it all the time where
Right.
kids that young. I mean, even in MLB, because that's a
Yeah.
sport where a lot of young guys get pushed up quick.
Hmm.
I mean, when you get guys doing that kind of stuff on grand stages at young ages, you're talking about like Mickey Mantle,
Yeah.
Andrew Jones, one of the better
Yeah.
defensive center fielders of his era.
Yeah.
But you don't see it all the time. And sometimes when you do
You
see
don't.
it, guys get burned out too quick and they get pushed back down. Like Anthony Volpe, anyone?
They say, oh, yeah, I remember that guy. He played for
Yeah.
Yankees, right? Yeah.
Yeah. He's been sitting where he belongs. All right, continue.
Right. Yeah. That's what I say. He used to play for the Yankees.
Yeah.
He benches it now. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you on it. I'm with you on that 100%. Yeah. Yeah. I think both fighters came up different ways. Yeah, Canelo had the promotion, and I think the fight with Floyd really, even in defeat, I think the fight with Floyd pushed him, up like, okay, who is this young redhead kid? Bam, bam, bam. So and with Floyd, him being from Nebraska, people from small town, and this is not a racial thing, but you don't see many black people from Nebraska in this type of sport in boxing. You
No,
know,
you
you
don't.
you just,
You
you just
don't.
don't see it. And see, that's the thing about it. So he didn't get the promotion, and I'm not saying he didn't get the promotion because he's black. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, being from Nebraska, whether you're black or white, you don't get that type of
Yeah,
promotion
it's not
because you're not
exactly
that.
a fighting hotbed.
Right. Right.
You know,
So,
where Mexico, you have so many warriors over the
oh
years.
man, yeah. Oh yeah.
Arguello, you have Julio
Golly.
Cesar Chavez.
Yeah. You
Although I
can't,
view De La Hoya more on the American side of things because of the fact that he
yeah.
was an Olympic gold medalist, he has roots to that country.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. So it's going to be that way, and I think this is a good matchup in terms of that's one of the good reasons. Two guys, two different ways. They came up. They both very successful boxing careers. And what people don't know, not many fighters have come up, made this leap to win. The closest I know is Sugar Ray Robinson, Joey Maxim. He came from middleweight to fight light heavyweight. He had to fight one, but had retired, I think, in the 14th round because of heat. Roy Jones jumped up, but I think with Jones, he was more of a super middleweight, and he fought John Ruiz, which he could have fought like Mike Tyson or somebody else. I think he cherry picked on that one.
You
But I think
definitely
with
cherry
this
picked
one,
to get some. It's definitely cherry picked to get some reputability.
yeah,
And Orlando product Antonio Tarver, aka Mason Dixon, if we're going
uh,
Hollywood.
the Magic Man. Yep.
Yeah, late bloomer to the sweet science due to some issues as a young man,
Hmm.
um, things that he overcame. Whether
Yeah,
it be addiction or just being a young knucklehead. But Tarver had a heck of a career. He
yeah,
he met his match, and it really put him in a different category going backwards after the Winky Wright situation.
yeah. I met him in '90. He was still fighting like '97. Cool dude, man. Real cool dude. Um, yeah, I think with him, yeah, he had a bad fight and then it was over for him, man. Because after he beat um Roy, you would think he would just catapulted, but he actually went down.
But
But
I think it happens to a lot of guys once they hit Hollywood.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
we saw it with Tommy Morrison. He was
Hmm.
co-starring along Stallone in Rocky Five, and next thing you know, Ray Mercer knocked him out of the ring.
Lennox Lewis, same thing. He was about to make the movie, went over there and fought Hakeem Rockman, got knocked out. You know,
Yeah, and it's the ignorance of certain people. Oh, he has a soft jaw. I'm like, how many rounds does he have, and how many times did he hit the canvas?
right,
Acted like a like one pro can't knock out another pro, even if one pro is more prolific and probably 9 out of 10 times better. It's still that
right.
one. I mean,
It only takes one punch, man.
During George Foreman's run in his 40s at the heavyweight title, he lost a lot of rounds. But how did he steal
Mhm.
fights? Because of that
It took
punching power.
one. I was talking to my niece yesterday about fighting, and I said, isn't that her name? Her name is Isabella. I said, Isabella, when you're fighting as a boxer or anything, no matter if you're fighting in the street or fighting in the ring, the last thing you lose is your power. You may not be fast, you may not be nimble, you may not be agile, da da da. You may not be able to take a punch, but the last thing you lose is power. And we seen with George Foreman, like you said, he took a lot of rounds, but he got battered. But one punch changed the whole fight. Mike Tyson, even though he got beat by uh oh god, I just said Buster
Jake
Douglas.
Paul. Oh, Buster Douglas. Okay, back to the
Yeah.
matches. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, he could have knocked Jake Paul out though. But even with Buster Douglas beat him. One punch, boom, Douglas went down.
And the controversy
You
will
know?
always be there because of round eight,
Yeah.
where
But it goes one punch.
many feel that Douglas got a fortuitous count. However, um,
Yeah,
Tyson made
yeah.
a mistake by being a little too close to the ref and distracting too. So there was a couple of ways to look at that. The bottom line is Mike did not train properly for that fight because he had his sights set on an Evander Holyfield at minimum 2 matches. Holyfield was the biggest loser that night, not even Tyson, as Holyfield was in the front row in Tokyo, and very disappointed, to say the least, because he lost out on a big payday that he didn't see until Tyson was incarcerated and then ultimately came out, took the title from Frank Bruno. But yeah, Mike. There you go, Mike.
Yeah, I kind of like disconnected myself by mistake.
Yeah, I put Mike into three different scopes of his career. Pre-Tokyo, pre-incarceration, post-incarceration, and yeah, Mike got to a level where he fell out of love with the fight game, because I think
Mhm.
part of him becoming a better human was him getting away from boxing, because boxing was always something about survival with him.
Yeah, it
And
was.
the number that Robin Givens and her mother did to him
Yeah.
was not anything wholesome, to put it blunt.
I think that took a lot out of him, man. Mentally, it took a lot out of him, man. And and I'm not calling Mike an angel, because we know he wasn't. And he said he wasn't. But I think he had so many distractions, man. I think like like the Desiree Washington thing took a few years off his career. Like you're saying, Robin Givens, that situation. Don King with his nonsense. He just had. I always felt that had Customato not passed away, or he'd have stuck around with Jim Jacobs and the crew that got him there. Well, Jim Jacobs passed away too. So, but I think had he stuck with what's his name? The trainer. I forgot his name. I got his face in my head. I think had he not fired him, I think Mike Tyson probably went on and went undefeated. I think he'd have got the 49-0. Because when everybody else got kicked out and they brought in them knuckleheads when Don King took over, that's when he started getting. I mean, he knew he was tough. He knew that. But that's when he got arrogant. And then he got away from his actual skills and just tried to knock people out rather than doing what he did with jabbing, body punching. He got away from the stuff that got him, that got him to the top.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
fell into lazy habits,
Yeah.
and another part of that was just a lot of excess, because when he lost Rooney, and then because
Rooney,
Rooney
that's
was
his
situated,
name.
yeah,
Rooney. You
Rooney,
know
and
your
then
boxing, dude.
the untimely death of Cus D'Amato.
Yeah.
There were a lot of vultures. I mean, you look
It
at Don
was.
King, and it's a long list of people that he exploited, and one of the few
Hmm.
that was able to not be exploited, at least financially, by him was
Hmm.
Muhammad Ali. However, a
Yeah.
lot of fight fans will go back to that fateful night where Muhammad Ali took the beating of all beatings against Larry Holmes,
Yeah. Yeah.
and some people feel that may have expedited his health decline with the Parkinson's.
The
And
department.
Ali famously spoke to Mike Tyson briefly before the fight. Legend has it that Customato took a call in the locker room.
Hmm.
But to put it bluntly, Muhammad Ali, who was always a man of much dignity and
Yeah.
peace,
Great
he
character.
wasn't in a
Yeah.
peaceful mood that evening. He told Mike kick his fucking ass.
Yeah. He said,
So
"Beat him for me." He did too.
yeah, Mike, to his credit, his humble nature. I remember the Arsenio show where Mike
Yeah.
said, "When you're in the," and Ray Leonard was on there too, and Mike said, "When you're
Yeah.
in the presence of greatness, you don't question any of that." And Mike, like many other aspiring boxers, Muhammad Ali was his hero.
And the thing about that is, and that's the difference between now and today. Back then, with Ali, everyone Ali was the OG. He was the OG. Respect the OG. He would, and that was it. He respected you, and it was like Leonard honored him. Tyson, a lot of fighters honored Muhammad, and still to this day, just a lot of. And this is what knocks me on Floyd. Floyd, like Muhammad Ali, revered Sugar Ray Robinson. It's like a hierarchy. You start with Jack Corbett. You go down to Jack Dempsey. You go Bob Bill. You got Gene Tunney. You
Papa
got Joe
Jack
Louis.
Johnson.
Jock Johnson. You got a hierarchy that those that came after respected all of them. But when Floyd came in, and I want people to think I'm not knocking Floyd. I'm talking boxing. But when
Oh, don't
Floyd,
worry, I'll knock him when you're done.
yeah, that's what I'm not doing because I know you got it for me. You know what I mean? See how we play? You see how we passed that off? You know, like Stockton and Malone. You know, but
It pisses me off. It pisses me off that he has the ignorance to say that Ali's not the greatest. Ali, with the 56-5 record, was not called the greatest per se just because of what he did in a boxing ring.
no,
And by the
he
way,
was
you could make that argument. It was everything he did in the world.
in the world, and see that's thinking people respected Ali. And with Floyd, no, it's me. I'm the guy. Da, 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 da. Okay, you can say I'm the best. I'm the best. Blah 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 blah.
He's the greatest at making money on a huge gate. I'm not going to take that away from the man.
Right, right. Like even I'm not seeing Hamid. When he was fighting, he said he's I'm the best ever. But later in his career, he said Ali is who I revered.
Curtis Jackson,
50,
continuously the greatest troll in the world,
yeah,
basically made Floyd look like an idiot in
he
terms
did.
of his lack of literacy. And I'm not making fun of Floyd because of
No,
that, but I'm sorry when you're bringing in that kind of money, you can better
yeah,
educate yourself. So I don't want to hear that shit.
yeah.
People
That's the
can
thing
make fun of
about it.
Mike's
Yeah.
speech impediment. People can make fun of Mike on a lot of levels, but Mike is a self-educated man, and that's why Mike is where he is now today, living a good
hmm
life.
Mike,
Comes
yeah,
full circle.
with Mike, yeah, exactly. Mike, one thing Mike knew the fight game. I remember him talking to Burt Sugar, and I know we done got away from Crawford.
No, don't worry. We're coming back. We're coming back. Burt Sugar. That's
You
a
know,
shout right there.
yeah, Mike knew his. And see, Mike respected the game. And see, like I said, Mike came full circle. Like he talked about his career. He said, "Yeah, I had a career." Da, da, da. But he doesn't attach his career to him now. I always felt with Mike. Mike was a dominant boxer with a lot of demons. Had he not had those demons, he would have been seen as Ali back because he was like Ali of his time because he was like, hey, y'all
Mike
can't
would
beat
have
me.
been better revered and better remembered
Mhm.
in his legacy in boxing if he would have fought in the 70s as opposed to the 80s,
Oh
because in the
my
80s,
goodness,
while you
mm,
still had good competitors, it was not that same creme de la creme when you had Foreman, Frazier, Norton,
man.
Ali, Holmes.
Imagine, dude. Imagine if he fought doing that. Oh my
I
goodness.
mean, shit, even the great white hype of that era, Jerry Cooney was a fierce competitor.
You know what? Hold on, before we go, I want to talk about Jerry Cooney. I like Jerry Cooney. Jerry Cooney was no bum. Jerry Cooney fought in an era with some bad mother effers. That's all that was. Because if you put Jerry Cooney today, Jerry Cooney's a champion today. Because he had a
Mike
hell
played a
of a
huge
punch.
part in so much of this. Ken Norton would
Yeah,
be revered better, but I mean, you're talking about like four, 3 to 4 of the top greatest heavyweights of all time fighting in the same decade.
same
It's
decade,
similar to when you
dude.
had the four kings in the
Eh,
lightweights, the
yeah,
middleweights.
yeah,
Yeah,
junior, yeah, well toward the middle, yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. I like Jerry Cooney. I really did. I really did. I hated that he fought when he fought because he fought some. He fought the best, man. He fought the best. He knocked the hell out of Ken Norton, though. But George Foreman, you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
trying to figure out what this guy's saying here, and I'm struggling. If you can, not
Yeah,
to call him
yeah.
dangerous or run embrace. This is typical with a K boxing from USA and special to fighter black. What?
He was no. He said he was starting off. He's saying, I think he's saying that black people like to run. I don't know about that. He said doesn't speak that much English. He's saying he's talking about Mike Tyson. How Mike Tyson was like, he didn't run. That's what he's saying. But he's just talking about how he don't like people who just run around. But I think he kind of trolling too. You know, because
Just a bit. Just a bit.
yeah, and hey, whatever your name is, I don't know what he's saying.
My thing is, if you're
Typical.
gonna troll, at least like formulate
Hey,
verbiage that makes sense.
let me tell him to try Google Translate because I don't know what she's saying. I do, but I don't. I don't know
I
if he's
understood his
putting.
point about Iron Mike, but then he lost me with that. It's all right. Back to the matter at hand. What are you looking
Oh,
for in tonight's fight? How do you think this plays out?
By metrics, height and all, they're even. Canelo's 5'7", which is hard to believe he's only 5'7". Crawford's 5'8". Crawford got a 74 inch advantage. Canelo got a 70. Weight wise, I think Canelo will still be uh, better weighted because this is Canelo's natural weight to where Crawford's coming out. I know Crawford got his weight up there and has been running and all that stuff, but as a former boxer myself, natural weight, your natural weight, what you fight at and what you walk around at and what you totally different. Like I walked around at 165, but I fought at 178. You know, that's just where I was. But and when I try to go down, I like the power. You got your powers to the point, but moving up, you keep that power, but you lose a little bit. I noticed that when I did try to push myself up to 175 or 185, like, dang, I felt heavier. I think it's gonna be a good fight. I kind of be honest with you, I kind of see it like Floyd and Canelo. Because Crawford can fight left-handed or right-handed. He has power. As many fights as Canelo has decent power. You know, you got 63 wins, you got 39 knockouts. I mean, that's a good ratio, but it's not a great ratio. It's a good ratio to where Crawford's 41 and 30, 41 on 31 knockout. Crawford will he'll get you out of there. So I don't think Crawford will knock him out. Betting money would go with Canelo because he's the natural super middleweight. Da 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 da. He got the more experience.
Canelo
You
has
know,
to get inside
but he got
on
to
the
get
sense
inside, dude.
on the sense of Crawford's length advantage. I do think that to a level, the stage could be a little bigger, where it could stymie some of what Crawford has done on other stages. I don't like to just
Yeah.
say that's a thing, but I'm sorry, it is a thing. I'm rooting for Crawford tonight. However, I
Hmm.
do think Canelo wins by a decision. Now, you talk about rounds and rounds and rounds, and there have been so many rounds where
Yeah.
Canelo has never hit the deck. Do you foresee a knockout either way tonight, or at minimum a knockdown?
Possibly a knockdown. Like with me, I'm going with Crawford, but I can see if you bet money, you might want to bet on Canelo because of the experience and everything. But I just got a feeling Crawford's going to do it. Knockdown, if anyone gets knocked down, I think it might be Crawford takes a flash.
I
If
could see
anyone,
that too, and I
yeah,
could see it. I could see it being like a rib shot.
or something like that. Yeah, something where he caught him. Well, I think it'll be more like I think it'll be a headshot, but I think it'll be a flash. Like he just caught him. And
Right.
he could, yeah. But I don't think it'll be anything where Crawford is getting up and like, oh no, this might be the end. I don't think it'll be anything like that. But I think it's gonna be a good fight because Crawford's gonna fight you, Canelo's gonna fight you. Um, it's gonna be a good fight. I don't see a knockout. I'm going with a majority decision, well, split decision. Um, Crawford, but it wouldn't surprise me if Canelo won.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. There will be one knockdown. I do agree that it could be Crawford. I think it's the difference in the fight. Canelo by 4 points, mainly predicated off of the
The
knockdown,
knockdown.
and the only way that it would be closer, where it really
Mm,
could come down to a third judge,
mm,
is if Crawford just naturally wins more rounds. Because
yeah.
unfortunately, in the sport of boxing, we've seen some egregious decisions.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And I think Crawford's going to have to build himself a nice 3 round advantage
Yeah,
to
I agree.
because in the championship rounds 9 through 12,
Yeah.
Canelo's going to bring it, especially if he's losing.
Yeah, Crawford's gonna have to build some equity in that ring. He's gonna have to build some rounds, man, because I just don't see it being close.
Because
And
what
they say
worries me is if
Crawford.
it's the other way around, and if Canelo gets up 3 to 4 rounds, Crawford might, veer away from his fundamentals, and that's where you could actually see the surprising knockout, maybe
Yeah,
mid-fight.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah,
think it's a good one
yeah.
tonight, Idris, and I think it's going to live up to the billing. I really do. But I'm taking Canelo, even though I'm rooting for Crawford.
I'm taking Crawford, but I wouldn't bet against Canelo.
Yeah, I know exactly what you
Yeah,
mean, and you
yeah,
said it
yeah,
well.
I'm not gonna underscore Canelo because Canelo is Canelo. He didn't get the 63 wins and got all these titles just fighting bums.
No, not
You
at
know,
all. And the hope is that it's a win for boxing, and
yeah,
and that's what
that's
all
what we
fight fans
need.
hope for.
That's what we need. Oh, because dude, I'm tired of the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. Now they got freaking Floyd versus Mike and Devontae. I'm tired of that shit. Let's get back to boxing.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's get back to boxing.
it's become a little too Hollywood on a lot of levels. And the events that UFC puts on,
Yeah,
you know, 4 times a month or damn near 4 times a month. It's
damn near. Yeah,
Yeah, they're kicking boxing's ass in every sense of the word. So this is an opportunity for boxing to reestablish itself in a good way. So hopefully these two men can get it done.
and UFC is not going to be having no stupid fights like Paul and Tyson. Because you get in that cage, you're going to get your ass whooped.
You know, some people
So
say that Floyd carried Conor McGregor. I don't completely subscribe to that. I think Conor
mm-mm.
McGregor actually did quite well.
I think he did good. He actually rocked. He actually hurt Floyd at one point in that fight with that
Yes,
body
he did.
shot.
Yes, he
Yeah.
did.
So I think Conor, considering he's not a boxer, I think he did pretty good. Consider who Floyd is. I think he did pretty damn good for real.
Oh, I
He did
tend
better
to
than that.
agree.
Yeah, he did better than any of the Jake Paul fights. My
Yeah, no
opinion. I
question.
mean, yeah.
No question.
All right.
Big night in
We got
MLB yesterday.
hey hey.
Jacob DeGrom, successful return to Queens. A huge inning is really why that went down. 6 innings
Yeah.
off the
It's
rip for the Texas Rangers, who are still fighting to get into postseason play. It's a tight situation, and that's why this Yankees Red Sox series this weekend is so big. Because if the Yankees in the event could sweep the Red Sox and said, "Hey, I think they're going to win," Brian Bello on the bump, he's had his issues. We got our best
mhm.
pitcher, or one of our two best pitchers, in Max Fried.
Yeah.
I like the Yankees today. The Mets are in trouble. I'm not trying to be funny about it. The Mets
No, they're
pitching
in
is in
trouble.
shambles right now.
They're in trouble. Dude, they're in trouble. Yeah, shouts out to Jacob DeGrom, man. He had so many good years in New York, but the team just couldn't hit. He would lose 1-0, 2-0. They just couldn't hit.
Yeah, he and the
And
Dark Knight Matt Harvey really got
Matt
burned out
Harvey,
together.
right. To see him go to Texas, rehab, get a ring, and get back on his feet, and then have such a showing yesterday. Man, it's good. As for the Mets, they're free falling, dude. I've always knocked the Mets. I've always said after the All Star break, they'll fall apart. Now, this season, I said these guys might make a run.
And they're still in control of their own destiny. But if
But
they have
golly,
a flunky September, they can find themselves on the outside looking in.
yeah, because like they what I know that they're close to being 500, dude. I mean, yeah, 76 and
And I might
72,
be
man.
wrong, and I might be wearing my Homer hat, but the reason why I think you might even see Boston with the September swoon is because after the Devers trade, they were playing so good for so long.
Yeah, they were,
Now it's like I think they're a little tired personally, and I think the
dude.
Yankees are catching them at the right time. The Yankees have 2 games left in their season series with Boston. If the season ended today, they would be a first round matchup, best of 3. Toronto is still in striking distance. The thing with this is, I just believe that Boston, really had to do a lot of just hustling, overcompensating during that great run. But the best the Yankees could do is 5-7. They cannot win the season series because
Right.
divisional series have been shaved from 19 games now to 12 in order
So,
for
yeah,
every MLB team to play each other. Some people love it, some people hate it. But I'll be
yeah.
real. Nobody wants to see the Dodgers play the Rockies 19 fucking times.
Oh hell no! I don't want to see 20 nothing. It's crazy because the AL East, once again, 1, 2, 3, Toronto, New York, Boston, all would be in the playoffs right now if it started. 1, 2, 3, just like that. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
With the Mets, oh God, it's they were looking, and I actually said this year they were. I mean, like I said, they still have a chance, but dude, they're going down, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
they're still in the race. Like you said, they're still in the playoff race. At the end of the day, they would still make the playoffs. But God, they'd be that last seed, man. That um And you don't want to be that last seed. You don't want to be that playing, as they say, playing game. It's not a playing series, but it's a playing series. You don't want to be that.
Luis
You want
Gil
to,
yesterday, flirting with a no hitter through six.
yeah,
He was gifted the Yankee belt for
yeah.
player of the game in the locker room.
I
Aaron
like that.
Judge jumps the Yankee Clipper, the iconic Joe DiMaggio.
No.
I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. There's a lot more for Aaron Judge to still accomplish, mainly in October. But as a singular talent,
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to start having the conversation. Is Aaron Judge ultimately going to end up as the greatest right-handed slugger the game has ever seen? You hear names like A-Rod. You hear names like Albert Pujols. And Judge is steady jumping into that conversation in terms of on the whole, on the career. But Judge don't care about that. He wants a ring.
No. And I think the ring will solidify. I think he's already walking in the Hall of Fame, but I think the ring will put him above those on that list. Because God, he's been so freaking dominant, man. Golly, the guy's just a freaking freak. That's it.
Yeah, he just needs that signature October because in
That's it.
2009, it's what A-Rod needed to solidify his greatness. And in a season where it's so wide open, friend of the show, Sergio Rodriguez, big baseball guy, made a good point. He said in the American League, there is no dominant starter, maybe with the exception of Tarek Skubal, who, by the way, got injured yesterday.
He got injured. Yeah, he got hurt yesterday, man.
That is
Yep.
like, for sure what you're getting in the postseason. I think the only American League pitcher that's currently healthy right now would be Jacob deGrom, and there's no guarantee the Rangers even get in the playoffs. But that's the kind of guy that can win you a short series. That's the kind of guy that busts out and stops a slump. That's what he brings. The National League has a couple of those guys. Right now, the American League, not so much. So it's going to be
Yeah,
interesting to
yeah.
see how this plays out. But the American League is wide open.
You know who I see as Aaron Judge as, and not character wise, but I see him as Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa without the steroids. Because I feel
Yeah.
he has better character than those two. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
no
I'm not being a
question. I
homer.
mean, he's one of
Eh,
two poster children for MLB. They were pushing Fernando Tatis in a big way as the Latino Jeter prior to him having his fallout with the PEDs and such. But it's Otani and it's Judge. And, some people love Otani. Some people feel some kind of way about the whole thing with the gambling and the translator and all that. And, I'll just leave that there. He's a phenomenal baseball player. I think those are your two golden children in MLB, Judge and Otani.
yeah, I'm with you.
And Mike Trout, unfortunately, he just doesn't stay healthy like he should. But to put it in perspective, Aaron
Mhm.
Judge is in the 360s now in terms of career home runs. Mike Trout just hit 399 2 nights ago. And that
Yeah,
just goes to show how much time Mike Trout has missed because he's still a surefire Hall of Famer, but those injuries are real.
yeah, yeah.
And with the
I'm with
plate
you.
appearances and the amount of home runs, the ratio is insane.
Yeah, I'm with you all the way. I'm with you all the way. I'm with you all the way. Um, we just got to knock off those Red Sox, man. We got to
Yeah, this
knock
is
off the
the
Red
chance
Sox,
for the Yankees to step on their neck. There's only a couple of weeks left in the season in the grand scheme of
right?
things. Under
And we're
20
three
games
games up.
left.
Yeah, we're 3 games up on them. A good, at least take two today, man.
Yeah, if
I'm
if
not.
you
I
if
mean,
if,
that's. I
if
mean,
you
two
could
in the series. Yeah,
if you could sweep these guys, I think now you're just looking at Toronto, and it's still feasible, it's still doable. I think the Yankees taking 2 out of 3 from Toronto definitely did something for their psyche, as did beating their forever tormentors, the Houston Astros. Before we get out of here, Idris, is South Florida going to pull another upset? They're
hey,
playing the
let's.
Hurricanes today.
You know something? Go Bulls.
Yeah, it would be something to see. We've already seen a moderate upset with UCLA coming out real flat yesterday,
Yeah, go
busting up
Bulls.
one of my tickets. Yeah, last thing I want to say, and it's not related to college. I watch these Jameis Winston interviews all the time, and it kind of annoys me to a level that the New York Giants aren't starting him right now. I want to be patient. I want to see if Russ could get the job done, but I don't want to see too much more of what I saw in week 1 because it's going to get late early, as my
Yeah,
late father used to like to say.
Yeah. Man, I love Jameis Winston, man. I love
Smart guy
Jameis
not to
Winston,
like.
man. It's the funny thing about it. When he came out of college, him and Marcus Mariota, I said both quarterbacks are average. I said I thought Marcus Mariota would do better because he was more of a runner, but he never took anything on the center. But I said both. I said I felt both quarterbacks went too high. That was my opinion. I
Yeah,
wasn't a
sometimes
fan.
when you get a weak quarterback class, they're going to get pushed to the front of the line. And, we've seen it over the years. I like
Yeah,
Cam Ward, but do I think Cam Ward would have been as high as he was if he came out a year earlier? Absolutely
no,
not. Nor would Arch
yeah,
Manning.
but like with Jameis, I wasn't a fan of him. For one thing, I'm not a Florida State fan. I'm an LSU fan, so that's one thing. And I used to be a Florida State fan until they got rid of Bobby Bowden. Well, I used to root for him. I was always LSU, but I rooted for him. I like Bobby Bowden. But with Jameis, when he got cut, when they let him go in Tampa Bay and he went to New Orleans, and the way he carried himself, like, hey, I gotta do better, and how he went down to New Orleans and he kind of changed that culture too. I'm like, and that's why I'm like, I like Jameis, and I started liking him. Then when he went
Well,
to
you
Cleveland,
revisit, if you
yeah,
revisit that game where it was
mhm,
billed as the final matchup between Tom Brady and Drew Brees,
yeah,
ultimately Tampa's on their way to winning their second Super Bowl, Brady his seventh. Jameis Winston threw the best pass in that game. Not Tom Brady, not Drew Brees. He
right,
came in on a play that was designed for him, and he threw a missile, a friggin' piss missile to the end zone. So
yep,
Jameis still has the arm. Russell still has the arm. And God willing, Jackson Dart's the savior. But if the New York Football Giants go 0-2 tomorrow
yes, sir.
with
They
more
changed him.
anemic offensive play, Brian Dable's going to have no other choice but to
Yeah,
either throw in the kid in the Lions den, which I think would be a mistake, given that we're missing
yeah,
Andrew Thomas.
yeah.
But in the
You know
early
what I would do?
going, Green
You
Bay
know
is
what
the
I would
class
do?
of that conference.
You know what I would do? I would start Jameis and give Dart some packages. I
Yeah,
would
it
start
wouldn't be the
Jameis.
worst thing in the world to get him into certain situational things,
Hmm.
game speed. But I must admit, you don't want your big investment
Mm-mm.
getting injured with a lackluster offensive line right now. And I'm not saying
That's true,
just because you plug in Andrew Thomas, everything's going to be better. But
but
going
that's your
back to
blind
last
side.
season, yeah,
Hmm.
going back to last season, the Giants' offensive line was playing well prior to Thomas going down. He is that important.
You need your blind side right tackle, man. I mean your left tackle. That's your blind side. Your left tackle and your left guard. You need them as a right hand quarterback because they're
No
watching your
doubt.
back.
I couldn't
Yeah,
agree more. I think we're going to get another
yeah,
blow up performance from Justin Herbert.
yeah.
I don't necessarily know if Josh Allen's going to go ballistic in MetLife. The Jets do have a good defense, but Idris, start that man this week.
I am
Definitely
starting
start
Daniel
Josh Allen this
Jones.
week.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, you better tell Daniel Jones to find the bench. That Denver defense is real. Even if the Colts manage to muster a win out of that, I'll be honest. I think Daniel Jones is going to have a rough go. And Cam Ward, man, for a rookie having to face those defenses this early in the year, not much of a game.
Man,
But football Sunday tomorrow. Enjoy your college games today. If you haven't already played, make it a point.
LSU, LSU. Yeah, yeah. I'm just chanting. Go ahead.
Like and
Go
subscribe
ahead.
to the channel, the Richie H. Jr. Sports Podcast on
LSU,
YouTube. I'll be back Monday morning
LSU,
with my Monday
LSU.
morning rundowns for everything NFL related. And as the season progresses, you might be seeing split shows for the divisional previews. For now, we're doing one, and most of them will be going down on Wednesdays. So
Yes, sir.
stay with us for that. Check out the Sports Corner with Johnny Nast. Check out the
Good
V Mix, the
man.
Vicious Mix with this guy right here, Mr. Idris Salam
Yes,
on
sir.
live365.com.
We got the
Idris,
house mix
enjoy your
tonight,
game
y'all.
day, bud.
Yes, sir. LSU, LSU, Tiger, Gold Tigers. All right, man.
Irish, can we avoid the 0-2 hole and stay within the top 8? They make it easier to make the playoffs now. We out.
3-0, baby. All right.
Enjoy the fight, too. It's going to be a hell of a good one.